Okay guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be testing out the Stealth 2 3-wood against the Ping G430 Max. Enjoy. Okay, so before we get into this video, make sure you hit that subscribe, like this video, and leave a wee comment on which one you think is going to perform better, or better yet, which one you think you want to buy. Thank you. The first one I want to talk about is the Stealth 2. So I had a Stealth last year. I got a Stealth right out of the bat. I actually didn't try any other 3-woods because the Stealth I hit last year just was so good. I thought, you know what, nothing else is going to compare to that. And it's one of those things where you take a club out, you're all excited, you're swinging well, it's going well on the range. You take it out for a round on the course and it's going really good. But as time goes on, you start to figure out that, oh, maybe I'm not swinging it so well today. And I really noticed that the forgiveness in the first Stealth was not great, so I ended up only having the club for about 3 months, and then I went 3 woodless. I didn't have a 3-wood at all for the rest of the season, so it'll be good to actually go through thorough testing with this 3-wood, the Ping, and we'll do other ones in the future, but today I thought we'll test this one against that one and see which one's the best. And the other option today is the Ping G430, so obviously Ping have been known to create very forgiving clubs, especially with the G425 driver, so it'll be interesting to see how this bad boy performs against the Stealth 2. As I said last year, the 3-wood I had wasn't very forgiving, although out of the middle when I hit it, it was an absolute rocket machine. I almost didn't need a driver, but it'll be good to see if this is actually more forgiving than this, or more forgiving than the one I had last year, for example. So we're going to be testing for forgiveness, we're going to be testing for accuracy, and we're going to be testing for distance, obviously, because that is important. So the first thing I did was I took these 3-woods out onto the outdoor area in the driving range here at Blackwood just to get a feel. I wanted to see what they felt like. I wanted to see what the ball flight was like, just without any data, so that I could actually get a good idea of how these guys are performing. Because it's very easy to let the numbers that we see sway our decisions. You know, if you get a couple of real long ones with one of them, for example, you're gonna just fly into that and that's the one. You're not even gonna hit this one. So I thought I'll get them both out, I'll hit them both and see how I think they feel and fly. So I started off with the G430, and as I was kind of expecting, really forgiving, the thing just went straight. It didn't want to go offline. Even if I put a poor swing on it that I felt was going to cut a lot, it would sort of just start left and fade nicely. So that was nice to see. And then when I tried to shape it the other way, again, I could shape it right to left, no problem. And if I wanted to hit it straight, it went fairly straight. The only thing that I didn't like about it was it came out really, really high, and it looked like it wasn't going too far. Now that we are testing the max version, so maybe I would need to try the low spin version, but this was forgiving and it went high. So if you're a player that is struggling to get a 3-wood in the air, it would be perfect for you. And if you struggle to find the center of the club face all the time, again, could be perfect for you. But this is just based on my initial testing, so I don't have any numbers to back that up. It's just, that's just how it felt. Okay, then we got the Stealth 2 out, and oh my God, it's a rocket ship. It just went off with such great spin, such great trajectory, and it just flew through the air like a missile. I really, really liked it. However, so what I find the usual thing with TaylorMade for me is the off-center hit's not as forgiving. A lot more curvature off on either way, and it just didn't fly the same. But out of the middle, I have to say, this thing is grabbing my attention. You know, maybe a bit of practice, and I could be able to use this. But again, that's where I was last year with the Stealth 3-wood last year. I had the rocket one last year, so it was the lower spinning version than this. And it was a rocket. This is a rocket, but as I say, off-center hits, it's no good. So they were my initial reactions and feelings of these two clubs. Now, it's the time. Let's get it down on the driving range, test out it on the top tracer, and see which one is producing the most consistency, the most accuracy, and maintaining a good level of distance for me. So we're going to look at each 3-wood individually here and see how they performed, and then we're going to look at them collectively and then try and figure out which one's better for which type of player and which one's obviously better for me. So I hit plenty of shots with these two clubs, so I now not only have a great feel from hitting them without data, I now can confirm which one I think's the best for each type of player, which one's the best for me as well. So the Stealth 2 was giving me a flat carry of 251 yards, which I would be happy with on a 3-wood. The ball speed I was getting out of it was 163 miles per hour, which is actually quite a bit higher than what I thought I would get out of a 3-wood, so I'm pretty delighted with those numbers so far from the Stealth 2. And the total distance was 273 yards, which again is pretty good for a 3-wood, considering the driver's going to be between 300 and 310. The 270 is a nice mark for a 3-wood, so I'm happy with those numbers with the Stealth 2 so far. The final number that I want to pay attention to with this is the height, and the Stealth 2 was giving us 105 feet in height. We'll get into why a little later in the video. Now moving on to the Ping G430 3-wood. It was given an average carry of 241 yards, which is a bit shorter than the Stealth. So that's something we're gonna have to consider when it comes to our final review. The ball speed was down as well to 160, so not coming off as hot. And to be honest, the strikes were pretty similar on both. So 160 mile an hour is 3 mile an hour slower with the Ping. Now here's where the big change is. The total distance was 257 with the Ping, so that is a considerable loss. It's a 20-yard loss in distance, which is not what I'd want to see if that Stealth is going so well. So we're going to get into that again a little later, so just stay tuned. And the final number we're talking about is the height. So the G430 Max is coming out at 126 feet in the air, so it's a considerable difference in height. It's a 21-foot difference, so it's a lot higher with the Ping G430 Max. Now it's important to consider here that I actually was hitting both clubs pretty well. I was really happy with how I was swinging it there tonight in the range, so this is a great video for comparison. So the consistency number, the most important one for me, the Stealth 2 was 72% consistent, so that's its total dispersion once the ball finishes running out. So 72 is pretty darn good with any club. I'm happy with that with a 3-wood, so super delighted with the number I'm getting off that. Comparing that to the G430 Max, it's a 64% consistency, so it's a lot less consistent. And if we consider as well the distance is like 20 yards shorter in total, and it's less consistent. So for me, it's got to be the Stealth 2. It does feel really, really good. It sounds amazing. If I compare the sound with the Ping sounds a bit clunky. It almost feels like a toy in my hand as well, so it doesn't feel as solid when I hit it. The Stealth 2, however, sounds really, really good, really, really crispy strike, and it flies really nicely. The height that it gets is perfect for me. 105 feet in the air, giving me that nice 20-yard run, whereas the Ping G430 is going 20 feet higher than that again, and as you can see, it's carrying 240 and it's only running 10 yards. So it's going way too high for me, so it's no good. I would have to change that up and try and get it down, but this is a test, one versus the other. They're both got the same shaft in them. They're both at the same loft so that we can get a true test. So yeah, now let's consider, obviously the Stealth 2 for me here is a game changer. It's a winner out of the two. But if we consider another type of golfer, so if you're the kind of golfer that struggles to get the 3-wood in the air, struggles to get the height, and struggles to get it going, the Ping G430 Max could be the option for you. It's coming out a lot higher. Way too high for me, so I'd need to change the shaft, but if you're the kind of player that doesn't get it in the air, I'd go G430 Max. That's going to help you get it in the air. If, however, you're a good ball striker with a 3-wood, you find the middle of the face a lot more often, the Stealth 2 is the option. Hands down, it's the option because it comes out with such a great flight, almost like a missile. Watching it disappear there into the night sky, it was beautiful. And it flies really well and it runs. It's going to hit the fairway and it's going to run. So if you have no problems getting the ball in the air, the Stealth 2 is the way to go. It's longer, and for me it's more consistent as well. And it sounds great, and that's what you want. You want to be smashing a 3-wood. You don't want people looking at you going, oh my goodness, that guy crushes it. And that's what you're going to get out of the Stealth 2. No, I can't slag off the sound. The sound doesn't matter really that much. It's all about performance. So for me, Stealth 2 is winning this one. Ping G430, as considering its forgiveness. Yes, tonight isn't the greatest test for forgiveness because I'm hitting the ball so well. I did try and hit a few off center, but that wasn't possible. I was just way too good tonight. So they were all coming out of the middle. So Ping G430 if you need height. If you're a ball striker, get this in your bag. This Stealth 2 baby right here. Get this in the bag right now. All right, thanks very much for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Leave a little comment now on which club you think is the best and which club you think you might try out. And also let me know if there's any clubs that you'd like me to test out for you. And make sure you hit that like, hit that bell, and thanks again for watching. This was Mike's Quick Reviews.